What's up, y'all? Erroneous here, back with another Raid Shadow Legends video, and in today's video I'm going to be talking about the brand new dungeon boss, and I think I know exactly who it is. Let's get into it. Alright, y'all, so first things first, the event dungeon artifacts. As you know, pinpoint gear, very strong, extremely endgame gear that you're going to be utilizing in your arena tactics. So you're going to be wanting to get this gear for live arena specifically, classic arena or tag team arena, because you do not want to get sheeped by that stupid polymorph blessing. Now, you can also utilize this gear in your PvE as well if you need to, because this is going to be good for waves that give CC or crowd control. So yeah, you definitely want to keep this gear at hand. This is going to be for the new dungeon boss, the new stage. Last time we had Odin was the dungeon boss for the event dungeon. This time we're going to have someone new, and I will be going over who I think it is, and I think I know exactly who it is. So let's get on to the next slide. I'll be right back. All right, so for this new event dungeon, we've got relics coming into play. As part of the new campaign, 2 exclusive themed relics, epic and legendary rarity, will be introduced to the game. Both relics will belong to the event relic group. During the campaign, players will be able to obtain unique craft materials for these relics in some of the tournaments and events. So we'll see what happens. I mean, the tournaments and events, most spenders are going to go crazy in those events. So hopefully you're in a good bracket. If you're low spend or free to play like myself, then yeah, maybe you'll get some wins in tournaments or events. It's not to say that low spenders or free to players can't win. You could definitely win. You just have to make sure you're stockpiling resources. All players can take part in the first event dungeon tournament to get an epic relic from milestones, and this is what it is over here. And it does state right here, this is a maxed out relic though, and it comes with HP 6120, attack 204, crit damage plus 11%. This would actually be perfect on a Rhodos, right? So it does say that the damage modifier plus 1% up to level 6, and it states wearer receives 5% less damage from enemies whose attack is lower than the wearer's. Also inflicts 5% more damage to enemies whose max HP is lower than the wearer's. So that would be good on my Samsung, for example, or an HP nuker in general. But it's going to be best if it's on the Rhodos, because it says, notice how it says, wearer receives 5% less damage from enemies whose attack is lower than the wearer's. And you want Rhodos's attack to be really high and his HP to be really high as well. So against most attack-based damage dealers or defense-based damage dealers, Rhodos is going to benefit significantly from this relic. So let's go on to the next slide. We'll be right back. All right, so on this next slide, we've got event dungeon boss skills. This is how I know who the event dungeon boss is. Attacks all enemies on skill 1, places a 60% decreased defense for 2 turns, which is really strong on an A1. Also fills the turn meter of all allies by 5%, which is strong. On skill 2, removes all buffs from all enemies, then places the Death Brand debuff on the initial target for 2 turns. Death Brand is a brand new debuff coming into the game. Also places a True Fear on all enemies for 1 turn, which is nasty, because if that True Fear goes off, then it increases the cooldown on that ability that you tried to use. Fills this champion's turn meter by 5% for each buff removed by this skill. I assume that this boss is also going to be a Void Legendary, similarly to the Odin boss, but I could be wrong there. But maybe he will be. And he's probably going to be in a lot of 10Xs and a lot of featured events. Skill 3, teams up with all allies to attack a single enemy. Before attacking, places an increased attack on all allies for 2 turns. It says decreases the cooldown of this champion's skill 2, so the A2, by 2 turns if the target is killed. So skill 3 is a very strong ability, and I would not sleep on this ability. It could end up being disgusting, because doing this A3, you're more than likely going to kill an enemy. If he's a champion that you can acquire as a Void Legendary, it's going to be filthy for anybody's account. Him and Odin paired together would be absolutely bonkers. For the passive, grants this champion an extra turn for every 10 buffs placed on the enemy team, which is nasty for CF teams, nasty for all super heavy buff heavy teams. If there are multiple champions on the team with this skill, only one will activate. That's to be expected. And the Death Brand is the reason why I think I know who this champion is. Champions on their Death Brand will receive block revive when they're killed, which is pretty nasty. So who do I think this guy is? Let's cut to the chase here. So for the person that is going to be the new dungeon boss that I believe will definitely be, is going to be Ilisovak Stain. This guy right here, sorry if I butchered his name, but this guy right here is who I believe will be the new dungeon boss. Hopefully I get this right. I think I will get this right because this guy in the movie is the one who places a death brand against his ops, okay? This is the dude that places the death brand in the entire Alice in Wonderland series. So that's who I believe it is. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, for the last slide, the fusion. General info. One of the 5 themed legendary champions will be obtainable via a mixed fusion event that will launch on January 8th, which is going to be in 5 days. It's currently January 3rd at the time of this recording. It's going to be a champion from the Knights Revenant. He's going to be legendary. He's going to be a support champion and force affinity. All right, so this part is top secret. It is the versatile PvE support champion specializing in spreading debuffs and empowering allies with healing, buff extensions, and turn meter boost. Sounds like a pretty strong champion just from reading this first sentence. Their toolkit is designed to keep allies alive in the fight while disrupting the enemy's strategy. Very interested to see who this is going to be. Is it going to be Alice from Alice in Wonderland? Or is it maybe going to be the cat that's in Alice in Wonderland? Who knows? But I hope that it's a dog because I want Packmaster Shayak to be good. Anyways, that's going to be it for this one, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Who do you think this fusion is going to be? I would love to hear your thoughts. And I'll see you on a video soon. Take care.